go ahead and call the meeting to order. If you would, please rise. Pastor Earl from Crossroads will lead us in prayer.
It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Bow your heads, close your eyes. Just want to say, Father, we're so thankful to be a part of this great city. And tonight we're going to meet and talk about some matters here in the city. And we just pray that you guide our mayor and our city council's members as we prepare and just open their hearts and to keep them, impart wisdom in them so upon their activities and affairs so we can come to successful conclusions. And we just thank you so much for being our source of guidance tonight. And it's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Pastor. You're welcome. At this time, Boy Scout Troop 1908 will post the colors.
Color guard attention, scouts attention, audience please, color guard advance. Color guard halt. Color guard prepare to post the colors. Post the colors. Scout salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Color guard reform. Color guard return to post. Color guard hold. Color guard at ease, audience at ease. Please be seated.
We can have our scouts come back up. I just want to introduce them before they leave. So come on back up. I know you're excited to be here. Okay, we have Joe. If you would just raise your hand. Okay. We have Jonah. We have Braden. We have Jose. We have Isaac. And Brady. Braden's on in. Thank y'all very much. This time we do have a few proclamations, so if I could have Melissa Brennan please come up. Before I do the proclamation, do you mind introducing your students that you have with you?
Absolutely. So we have Alexis Galindo. You'll raise your hand or stand up, either way. Alexis Galindo, we have Justin Bronall, we have Jacob Bronall, we have Jeremy Bronall, and we have Carrie Bronall. And some of our students from Ector, they had their teacher had to deal with students in ECISD Police Commissioner Towns. So they're not here unless they come in later. But we also have Bianca Carpenter and Deanne Hernandez. They work our youth prevention universal program at the Council on Alcohol and Drug Abuse. And here they come. Here's one. And here's a young lady from Ector that's joined our youth coalition there. So that's kind of
great. Let me read the proclamation. Sure. It says, City of Odessa Proclamation. Whereas the global community faces enormous challenges due to the impacts of pollution and unhealthy lifestyle choices. And tobacco use is the #1 cause in this preventable death in the United States. 85.9% of teens in Texas do not smoke cigarettes, while the youth rate of e-cigarettes has rapidly increased over the last few years, due largely to the lack of education. The City of Odessa believes in the importance of educating youth to make informed, well-thought-out decisions that positively impact their own lives. The citizens and businesses have an interest in encouraging every resident and visitor to protect and preserve the beauty and cleanliness of our community and each other from harmful effects of secondhand smoke exposure. And the City of Odessa commends those participating in the Say What Tobacco-Free Action Summit for the commitment to bringing awareness to tobacco prevention issues and extends the best wishes for a successful event. Now therefore, I, David R. Turner, by the virtue of authority vested in me as mayor of the City of Odessa, do hereby proclaim February 27th, 2016, Say What? Tobacco-Free Action Summit. Throughout the City of Odessa, I urge all citizens to support these participants and all youth to live healthy, tobacco-free lifestyles. Congratulations.
Thank you. Say What stands for Students, Adults, and Youth Working Hard Against Tobacco. And in fact, we have, if Alexis and Justin will stand up, I'd like to kind of recognize these two. These two have actually gone on and represented Ector County at the state level and Alexis at the national level twice. And next month, she's going to be going to Virginia to another reduced tobacco use educational seminar conference with other teens across the country. And Justin, this is his first year as a teen ambassador. Alexis is third year as a teen ambassador. So they represent Ector County, and they're part of the reason why we're having an action summit here this weekend is to kind of engage with more West Texas. Some people don't travel out here too often, and we have just as many issues involving tobacco as the rest of the state does. So we're very pleased to have an actual action summit here. What the kids will do is they will have an interactive morning, learning about tobacco, and we all know tobacco is bad and harmful, but what are we going to do about it? So it's encouraging students to activate change because their generation needs to be living healthier lives. So the past 50 years of tobacco use has killed 20 million people. So we're hoping to reduce that in the next 50 years. So thank you for having us, and thank you, Mayor, and to the city for supporting us in all our prevention efforts at the Council on Alcohol and Drug Abuse. So thank you very much.
Thank you. The next, we have a Motorcycle Awareness Month. Kenneth Elrod is here. Okay, I will go ahead and read the proclamation. It says, City of Odessa Proclamation. Whereas motorcycles are increasingly popular means of transportation for commuting, touring, and recreational use on our roads. And motorcycles are virtually unprotected and therefore more prone to injury and death and crash than other vehicle drivers. And a critical element in reducing injuries and fatalities to motorcycles is education about motorcycle safety. It is a responsibility of all who put themselves behind the wheel to become aware of motorcyclists, regarding them with the same respect as any other vehicle traveling on the highway in this country. And it is our responsibility of riders and motorcyclists alike to obey all traffic laws and the rules of safety. I urge all citizens of our community to become aware of the inherent dangers involved in operating a motorcycle for the riders and motorists to give each other mutual respect as they deserve. Now, I, David R. Turner, by the virtue of authority vested in me as the mayor of the City of Odessa, do hereby proclaim the month of March as Motorcycle and Safety Awareness Month. Throughout the City of Odessa, I urge all citizens to do their part to increase safety and awareness in our community to save lives. And so we will get this to the appropriate individuals. The next one is really, it's a pleasure to be able to recognize a past leader of Odessa. As I've said many times, as city leaders, we stand on the shoulders of those that came before us. And this gentleman, Jim Reese, his shoulders are very wide and very broad because he has done so much for our community. And if I could have Mr. Reese to come up forward, please. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Proclamation reads as follows. City of Odessa Proclamation. Jim Reese was mayor of the City of Odessa from 1968 to 1974. During his term as mayor, he provided valuable service and empowered the quality of life for all Odessa citizens. And former Mayor Reese has earned the admiration of those who have come into contact, and the city of Odessa acknowledges former Mayor Reese for his contribution to municipal government in our city. Now, I, David R. Turner, by the virtue of authority vested in me as the mayor of the city of Odessa, do hereby proclaim February 3rd, 2016, Jim Reese Day. Throughout the city of Odessa, I encourage all citizens to express an appreciation for the way he represented our city. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mayor and council, and I have people, a good friend, Edith Lipson, who stand please. Edith Lipson came with me tonight, and Kayla Rigney, Danny Rigney, and another grandson, Bobby Rigney, and his wife, of course, Allison Rigney. Thank you. And my son and daughter.
Bethany's here and four grandchildren, great-grandchildren.
My wife would be here, except she could not be here. She's at ORMC in room 403. We came from there just a few minutes ago. And Chris Hager back there is with me also.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you one thing. The only time I had to use the gavel, I guess everybody here is afflicted, everybody here that's has some open meeting, Rita Duke was at our meeting. And they're laughing because they know the story. And Rita Duke was, Larry Sinclair was the city attorney. Yeah. You probably know, you knew Larry long. One time we had, I noticed you were going to take the parking off University. Mm-hmm. We converted University, 27th Street to University Boulevard while I was mayor. And we filled the house. As a matter of fact, it was the chambers overflowed, and the chamber overflowed, and the house, and mm-hmm. We had more people here for that one hearing than we had. And Rita Duke was here for that meeting, mm-hmm. And she said, "I have no appreciation for the situation about the legal opinions, and have no appreciation for him as a man." And I'm going to vote the hammer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You are appreciated.
Thank you.
And it's great to see y'all here. I know you can't see us, but you know.
Thank you.
And there's the
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
I'd like to be officially noted that he was referring to Larry Sinclair, my predecessor, rather than myself.
I'm sorry, you weren't recognized, Mr. Long.
Things haven't changed.
We throw the graph.
Yeah, unfortunately not, Richard.
Okay, now we will move to the consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Motorcycle awareness month.
Oh.
Jim would use that too.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, next we move to resolution. Consider an interlocal agreement with traffic signal maintenance. Mr. Feldman.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This interlocal agreement is with Ector County. They are currently in the process of building 2 new traffic signals. Discussing that maintenance with them. We talked about the city of Odessa maintaining those 2 signals for them. It would be on a cost-plus basis. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Are there any questions?
What were the intersections that goes down?
It's 16th and Moss and 16th and Redondo.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
So move.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. I accidentally missed the other council actions, so at this time, we will open a public hearing to consider the approval of the request of the City of Odessa for zoning. Mr. Brindley.
And I thought Hal was taking cuts right then.
You gotta watch it.
He's sneaky that way. Yes, related to this case, the city mailed out 42 notices. We had 1 notice returned. We did receive 1 written protest and no written approvals. The property involved in this request is located adjacent to the northeast corner of the existing city repair shop, adjacent to Rochester Avenue. This site is currently designated future development, and it is vacant land that's being used as a storage facility for city equipment and materials. Land use in the general area does consist of single-family residential development. There's also multi-family residential development, the city repair shop, and vacant land. The applicant in this case is the city of Odessa. We do own this property, and the purpose of the original zoning request would facilitate commercial development and related uses on this property. The request for the original zoning of light commercial on this site is contrary to the land use plan of the city, but this can be mitigated by providing development buffers that would include fencing, building setbacks, and access limits to this property. And to improve the compatibility between the projected differing land uses with the understanding that this is an area of land use transition, reasonable use of buffering, screening, building setbacks, limited access to the site, which the access will be limited to the southwest 100 feet of this property, so it won't have that much of an impact on the surrounding residential development. And also enforcement of existing truck routes would make this zoning request meet both the needs of the city and the neighborhood. The Planning and Zoning Commission did give a unanimous approval of this request, and the staff does concur with the Commission's recommendation for approval, and be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions? Okay, this is a public hearing, so at this time I will open up the floor to anyone who would like to comment on this. Sure, come on up. Are you Mr. Burdett?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is David Burdett, and I was coming here concerned with the proposed rezoning of this property and its effect on us. Some of my neighbors are here too, and we have a lot of elderly around us, and we're concerned about the impact it's going to have on us. I mean, the land has been there vacant all this time, but now to put another shop there versus something that would actually help our community, we just don't think that's quite appropriate. I do understand that we're small in numbers for our general population here in the city of Odessa. Feel like we don't have adequate council representation. We do know that Pastor McNeil is out on illness. So I'm just asking that you guys would really reconsider letting this thing happen like this. I think it's going to impact us. We don't know how the noise and the traffic and all of that is going to impact us, because that will impact our block directly.
Okay, show me where you live on that.
I
If you
live-
just,
He is the second lot right
Yeah, I
here,
live
Mr. Mayor,
at
right at
number five.
number 5, okay.
That's off of Rochester, is that right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Rochester and Seminole.
Okay.
So I just think that that's, you know, I think it could be better used for something that would benefit our community. They're developing all over the city of Odessa, and we're not seeing any improvements in our community at all. We don't need another truck shop right there.
Okay. Is this what you wanted to speak on? Because I had your
Yes.
card. I didn't know if it was after.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanna
Yes,
make
that's
sure.
what I want to speak on.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? If you would, ma'am, just state your name.
Yes, my name is Connie Turner. And I just want to say basically what David said. And my father, he lives over there in that area. And most of the people that live there is elderly, like he said. And I'm looking at this here circle. I'm trying to figure out, and it's showing my dad's house within that circle. Where is the zoning at? Is all of that the zoning?
No, ma'am. Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Sure.
Just this crosshatched area is the proposed zoning. This circle is just the notification area of who we had to send letters to.
Okay,
Okay? So,
okay,
but this property out within the circle itself will not be zoned or anything. It'll still keep the residential zoning into here.
okay. So all of this is basically residential area. Even over to the right and left of that is residential area. And then you also have, did you notify the school district? Because there's a school there too.
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
But, I don't know, I'm looking here at your map, and I see a lot of people that's gonna be affected by this that are not here, that I heard them speak against it, but, you know, their voices are not here. And that's pretty much all I want to say. And that I'm against it.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Turner. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Okay. At this time, we will close the public hearing.
Mr.
Can I,
President,
can I
I'm
ask
sorry, go
a
ahead.
question?
Sure. Ask a question, please.
Is it the noise or is it the traffic that would, I guess, concern you?
I feel like it's gonna be both.
Mm-hmm.
Both the noise and the traffic. And are these 18-wheeler trucks? Because there's kids also in that area that walk back and forth to school.
Yeah, it's gonna impact that Seminole Street is gonna be the most impacted by it. It's a small block, but we have kids playing through that area all the time, up and down Rochester.
Where is Seminole Street at?
It's the small,
Those small
little
streets.
small strip right there.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
I
right there.
see.
Goes this
Yes.
way.
So it's vacant property right now?
The crosshatch is vacant property. The city's using it for storage for materials and equipment.
Mr. Brittany, have y'all decided on where the entrance is going to be for that area? Or, you
Yes,
know,
sir, on the plat, the entrance has been noted to be limited to this southwest corner of the property and through there. That'll be noted on the plat that the property entrance will be limited.
So there's not gonna be no trucks passing through the neighborhood
It'll
or?
be, like I say, it'll be limited through here, and then there'll have to be enforcement of truck routes to prohibit any trucks coming through the neighborhood, but it's designed to come off of the service road up Rochester and enter through that southwest corner of the property.
Andy, can you blow that up a little bit?
Yes, sir.
How many responses did you get back from the letters you sent out?
We had one returned and then one written protest, and that was it. We sent out 42 notices.
What did that written protest say?
It was Mr. Burdett's.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Mr. President, where was the entrance again? I'm sorry, I was trying to catch
Uh,
here.
Limited to the southwest corner right there, Mr. Bryant.
So there's only one entrance
Yes, sir.
and exit?
Yes, sir.
Only
We address that through
egress?
the plating process to have a little more teeth, and enforcement on it is to limit it through the plating process.
I've got it pulled up, an aerial of it, so you can see it on my iPad if you want to take a look.
So the only thing separating, I'm looking at it, on Snyder Street, behind those houses, is that an alleyway or, oh, I'm sorry. Is that an alley?
Okay, I
Do you
didn't
see where
follow.
Snyder Street is?
Yes, sir, you're talking about the 4 or 5 lots right in through there, yes, sir?
Well, it says 1 through 11.
Yeah, you're talking about the lots right there.
And right behind there is there only an alley?
Well, this is Rochester Avenue right here.
No, expand it.
You can't.
Oh,
That's
that's as big as you get.
as big as it'll go.
We're talking about the lot, the 11 lots north of the property.
Oh, the north, yes, sir, that's a alley up there, yes, sir. But the activity will only be limited to the south 3 acres of this property. The north 3 acres will still continue to be used as city property for storage of materials and equipment.
Is it currently fenced?
Yes, sir, it's a chain link fence, but through the lease, we're requesting that the property that's being used for the new endeavor will be a solid screening fence.
I'm sorry, to be what?
A solid screening fence, so it'll have a little more substance than just a chain link.
And then ingress and egress at the corner that you're talking to, will it go right, will it go back? It'd be my right, your
There we go.
left? Down there.
Yeah,
where
you
the
can
proper
see-
exit would be too.
Yeah, you can see right here that we've got it noted where the brackets are.
Okay.
I might mention on a couple of things. One is the city of Odessa owns this property, and we are going to be, and it's my office that really is preparing the lease for this property, and we are going to institute such safeguards as we think are necessary to protect the surrounding community. The other thing that I think the Planning and Zoning Commission took due note of is immediately to the south of this is a light industrial district, and this would serve as a buffer, being like commercial to that light industrial district. So if you weigh both of those things, we think, and as Randy has stated, what is currently being proposed is just the use of the southern half of the property, or I think it's actually 4 acres.
Proposed lot 1.
Yeah.
Okay, what other questions?
So somewhat addressing the fact of the traffic flow and the other things for safety purposes, et cetera.
Right, well, ours are gonna be more, we'll have light, noise restrictions, setbacks, the normal things that you would put on, say, a PD zoning or something like that. This would just give us more leeway to be able to do it internally and to negotiate with the company rather than have it fixed and have to go back and remove anything if that was an impediment.
So what is the plans for the lot 2? What is the plans for that property?
We currently do not have plans for that particular property.
But we're gonna go ahead and zone that the same way, correct?
Yes.
So it could later on, without council's approval, be used for,
No, because the council also, the city also owns that property, and you would have to have, either we're gonna enter into a lease agreement or a sale, and we would then take such actions are necessary to protect the surrounding community.
but all your traffic coming in will be,
The south west corner. No truck should be going through the neighborhoods.
so what kind of buffer is gonna be between those 3 rows of houses in the property?
What you'll have, the buffering will be a solid screening fence along the west property line adjacent to Rochester Avenue. Also building setbacks that'll be observed for any type of setback from the property line into the property. And also screening and hooding for any security lighting that it will be directed onto this property and not spill over to adjacent residential or right-of-way area.
What kind of buildings are gonna be placed on it?
Now, that I do not know. I think legal is negotiating on that.
There were shop repair buildings designed.
It's something similar to what we have on our side, which is, let's see what's on our side.
I think what these good people are concerned on, and I would be, if I lived in that area, is right now we have a certain amount of traffic coming in there that's tolerable, acceptable. I don't know how you would, how you guys would take that, but when we put this in there, we don't know what that level's gonna go up to. And I would have concerns about the same thing. If I lived there, I'd have the same concern.
And again, just a question though, but could we restrict ingress and egress as you're talking about? Mr. Millie, you're talking about the left corner there that it goes right on straight down, whatever that street is on the left.
Comes down Rochester.
Right, where it would not be through the residential portion of it.
Is there a way to make sure, Larry, that all the precautions are taken into consideration or done completely, so that way, before they start construction, before they put any kind of truck in there, that they have put the buffers up, that they have put the fencing up, to make sure that the neighborhood is taken care of, I guess?
Yes, and I also want to state, I mean, they really do have appropriate concerns, and there's stuff that Randy and I've talked about. In fact, when we went to do the lease agreement, I mean, we got with Randy and went through, like I said, the traditional things that you would use to protect the community. But keep in mind, I mean, we not only are approving the lease, I mean, ultimately you will look at it and you will see what safeguards are put in there. And if you view them as insufficient, I mean, we can change them. The other thing is, this again is a buffer for that light industrial use that's coming off of one of our main thoroughfares. So you really have to gauge both the tie into the community to the north and the west, and with the tie into the south. So we're trying to put everything together to where, but we would traditionally back off the building as Randy has said, and we would require certain improvements to be done. But we are totally in control of the property, because they either have to adhere to our standards that we have set under the contract, or they're out. So
I think the language that is within here, it reflects exactly what our concern is and answers it, is that, development buffers, building setbacks, access limits, to improve compatibility in that transition period that you're talking about. I think that fits the need there for these people also. Protects them with that.
I think they have an absolute right to be concerned, but we have worked pretty hard to try to address the issues that they're concerned about.
I move for a question.
Okay, we've had a motion for a question. Do we have a motion?
I move
Okay, do we have a second?
for second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next, we open a public hearing to consider the approval of the request by City of Odessa to rezone from single-family 3 to light commercial. Mr. Brown.
Yes, sir. This is really just sort of a house cleaning type measure. The city mailed out 12 notices related to this case. We had no notices returned. We did receive one written approval related to this case. The property involved in the request is located northwest of the intersection of Rochester and East Pool. The site is currently zoned single-family 3 and occupied by the city's repair shop. Land use in this area does consist of residential development. There's a drill site north of this site and vacant land. The applicant is the city, and the purpose of the zone change to light commercial is to establish a zoning of the property that's compatible with the existing land use of the city repair shop. The request to rezone from single-family 3 to light commercial on this property is not contrary to the land use plan of the city of Odessa or the proposed land uses in this area. It's not out of scale with the needs of the neighborhood and the city. And The city shop has been in this location since 1967, and what we kind of figure happened on this is at a previous drawing up of the land, of the zoning map, a line was extended too far south, and that's what was adopted and how this got zoned that way. So we're cleaning it up to do the appropriate zoning for this property. And the Planning and Zoning Commission did give unanimous approval of the request, and the staff does concur with the commission's recommendation for approval.
This is a public hearing, so at this time, we will open this agenda item up for any public comment on this, the rezoning from single family. Is there anyone that would like to comment? Okay, we will close this public hearing. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
President. Next, under resolution number 4, consider a resolution of the municipal maintenance agreement with TxDOT. Mr. Feldman.
Good evening again. This is a resolution for a municipal maintenance agreement with TxDOT. It's basically necessary to enter into an agreement with every incorporated city for the authority to construct, reconstruct, maintain, control, supervise, and regulate the designated highways within our city limits. The last time we adopted this agreement was 1998. So we've had a request from TxDOT to do another adoption of the agreement. And I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Are there any questions?
Move for approval.
Now we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next, we consider amendment to the ODC bylaws. Mr. Long.
Thank you, Mayor. This amendment basically consists of 2 items. As the council is aware, the election date for the city council members has been changed from May to November. In order for the newly elected members to be able to promptly appoint someone, we propose to move the date for the appointment of the ODC members from May 31st to December 31st of the year. That will allow the council members to pick the ones that they so choose. It would also allow for the people to be acclimated that are appointed, and when they do the budget process, they will have more time and experience in it in order to do a proper job. The second thing is the Downtown Odessa Design Committee. It would be authorized to replace the Compliance Committee, where we have the infrastructure and the facade grants. The feeling of ODC and the Compliance Committee itself that this design committee would be a little more appropriate vehicle to do the determination and make the recommendations to the ODC. Both of these amendments have been approved by the ODC.
Okay, are there any questions? Okay, do we have a motion?
So moved.
You have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next, we move to miscellaneous, appointment of boards and officers. Ms. Grimaldi.
For the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, appoint Cliff DeArmond.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next, we need to go in executive session for talk of acquisition of land. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are now in executive session. Okay, do we have a motion to come out of executive?
So moved.
Motion second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We are now out of executive session at 6:57. No action was taken while we were in executive session. I have no cards, so we are adjourned.